Hi everyone and welcome back to another love inspection video. In today's video, we're taking a look at some of your most unhinged confessions and we're going to review them. If you want to join in and comment about your own confessions maybe or share your experiences or your opinions, you are welcome to do so. I hope this video will spark a little bit of interest and I hope that I can give some useful advice as well. So, the first story is a wild one. And as the title already says, some dude ruined my life with a fake sexual uh, SA allegation. A guy I never met spread a lie about me when I was 15 and destroyed my life. I've never told anyone. It's been a year today. Okay, so I mean, this is very hard, especially for a teenager to experience because let me just make a small comment here. If you bully someone, okay, it's not alright. Bullying is not alright no matter what. But if you do it for whatever reason you do it, I think there has to be a limit to it, and I think this falls within the illegal type of situation that could send you to a correction center, you know, and I think that it is so. I mean, maybe to someone it is just a joke or just a prank or whatever. You know, there are some people who consider this type of bullying as a prank, but it's not because it affects everyone involved. It affects the people that the rumor is spread about. It affects the people that rumor affects. Right? I mean whoever was supposedly the victim of this sexual assault, and uh, not only that, if the truth is found out, it will affect the person that bullied, you know, and affect their own future. So I want to take this moment to just raise awareness on bullying and on the effects of bullying because it can ultimately lead to someone even offing themselves, and because too much bullying can lead someone to take some drastic measures, and I don't think that's all right, and I don't think it's all right that we are living in a society where bullying is so glossed over and just and it's so easy to do, especially with the rise of online platforms and being able to create fake profiles and so on to just cyberbully someone. And I'll end this this rant for now, but I do hope you enjoyed it. Uh, I go to school in an extremely rural small town, which is town A. Okay, it took me a little bit to just analyze what the relationship between town A and town B and whatever is. So bear with me. It's I'm going to try to explain it as much as I can. So town A is the one his school is in and is 15 miles from the next town, town B. Town B is the story where the is the town where the story takes place, which is 30 miles from him. Around 10 people in each grade from town B go to my school in town A. There is another school about 10 miles outside town B where most people from there go to. I'm hoping that this whole context is not like some random piece of information I hope that it will serve as a context for later. So I'm just I'm sitting back and I'm enjoying this context. Okay, I was always a bit of an outsider in town A, but I had a solid group of friends, I assume, in town B, and used to make the trip regularly. Okay, so you are regularly going back and forth from town A to town B. Got it. So here is the story. I'm going to call this guy Jack. He was 17, almost 18, a junior at Town B school. I was 15, almost 16, a freshman at Town A school. There was also a girl from Town B school, I'll call her Sarah, who was 16, almost 17, and a sophomore. The first time I ever saw Jack was on a night out in town B with my friends. I saw Sarah that night and tried talking to her. She shut me down after a while, so I left it at that. No drama, no anything. Apparently, Jack saw this and decided he didn't like it. Me, an outsider, talking to a girl from his town. What what in the actual hell is happening here? I mean, I know there are people like this so entitled, okay, and even teenagers so entitled that they think that they own the town. Usually it's the snobs and the rich kids that behave like this, but I know some people who are not rich, and most of the kids that claim to be rich, they are not rich because of their own money. They are rich because of daddy's money or mommy's money or their parents' money, and I think that's icky and kind of silly, don't you think? You let me know in the comments. Did you ever encounter an rich entitled kid, and how do you deal with those people? 2 weekends later, I was back there with my friends in the outdoor sitting area at the back of the same bar in Town B. Jack's group was sitting there too under another canopy. One of my friends decided it was a good idea to chug 3 beers in a row and started to throw up on the floor. When I got up to go to the restroom with him to make sure he was okay, you're a good friend. I get that, so you're a good person. Okay, I think that whoever, goes to check on you if you start throwing up or if you don't feel well and wants to be there for you, that is a really good friend. Okay, because he is willing to be there for you when you're feeling low. Jack came up to me and cut me off before I got to the door back inside. I got to the door back inside the bar. In front of everyone, he said out loud that he heard I said I was going to rape Sarah. What the okay. Let, does he have any proof of that? I mean, that is my first thought. Do you have any proof? Let's show the proof. You know, I hope Sarah isn't in on it too. Like they are somewhat friends or whatever, and Sarah may have put him up to this. But let's see. I pushed back immediately and said that was absolutely not true. As you should stand up for yourself, especially with bullies. That is the way to go usually. If bullies bully because they want to feel control, and the way they want to gain control is especially over other people, is to just kind of bully them into submission. So it's good that you didn't just stand there, and take it. He wouldn't listen and just kept saying someone had shown him a video of me saying it 2 weeks earlier after she shut me down, but for whatever reason he couldn't show it to anyone. Oh, come on. People are not that dumb, are they, to not see through this? You know, I mean, if you come with an allegation towards someone, you have to be able to prove it at the very least. You don't just say something and everyone just believes it. That's crazy. He insisted he had seen it and that it was definitely me in the video. I told him to leave me alone and that it wasn't true. I decided it probably wasn't safe to go to the restroom anymore, so I sat back down. I could feel the tension building between our group and theirs, which was about 3 times the size of ours. One of my friends slipped out the side exit and ran away. Another told me I was overreacting and nothing was going to happen. One was blacking out and had no idea what was going. Oh my god, this is. I don't know why I'm laughing, but I find it so funny that immediately after this, someone runs away, someone is blacking out, so everything is falling apart. It's kind of poetic if you think about it. One was blacking out and had no idea what was going on, and the other one was in the restroom throwing up. Oh my god! So no one, no one was there to kind of defend you. I kind of, and now that I think about it, maybe those friends are low quality friends also, because why are they not defending you? Why are they not there beside you Why did they have to go, get so drunk that they need to go to the restroom or, run away? Mm, side eye for that. Around 2 minutes later, I started to leave through the back entrance, which doesn't go back inside the bar. Jack went over to his group, a nearly fully grown man, and started telling them something, but I couldn't make out what he was saying since I was about 50 feet away and it was very noisy. Before I could reach the gate to exit onto the street, about 10 seniors from School B got up and came sprinting at you, shouting that were going to beat the shit out of me. Meanwhile, Jack was there laughing. He said, no way that. Who called those people? I mean, those people were not even, Wait, did he go to them and call them, like, you know, to beat you or whatever, with for a lie that he said? My parents picked me up. Sorry, I was absolutely petrified. I ran faster than I have ever had in my life, probably a mile and a half, and hid behind the Walmart. I stayed there until I felt safe, then made my way back and got to the bus to town A. I'm so sorry to hear that. That must have been traumatizing because I remember a past experience of mine where it wasn't like this. I mean, it wasn't really like this. It was on one of my birthdays actually, where I went to someone's place to celebrate my birthday, and I was kind of bullied and threatened with a knife at that point. Um, and that was at the demand of someone else who at the time I was calling my best friend. So it I know how it feels to be chased with by some people who might or could overpower you, and I had to kind of go through a garden past past a fence, stuff like that, and then luckily I got home in time, you know but and it is a long time from that experience anyway, but the thing is, that experience stays with you, and I think it's important that you also, this is an advice for OP. I think you need also therapy just to be able to trust people again, and be able to move over this experience and not let it fester and stay with you and affect your ability to open up to people, and bond with people, and also to invest in your resilience, to make yourself more resilient, and just know that it's important that you get your side of the story out as well to as many people as you can, and not let yourself think that every person that you are going to encounter is going to be like this. uh, mm, I, mm, I was absolutely petrified. I ran faster than I ever had in my life, probably a mile and a half, and hid behind a Walmart. I stayed there until I felt safe, then made my way back and got to the bus town A. My parents picked me up and drove me home, completely unaware of what had just happened to me. I have never felt that powerless in my life. I genuinely thought something terrible was going to happen to me. After that, a lot of my friends stopped wanting to be seen with me. I told you those were not good friends, okay? Okay, because a real friend would stand up for you and would make sure you're okay and would be there by your side or try to help you, at the very least. Or he probably would have called your parents to, settle this and inform them if you didn't. So, yeah, you do need better friends. So I would say that you need to evaluate also the type of friends that you have, and make a review on who you want to keep close or not. because it's important. It's important to have friends that you feel comfortable with and you trust enough to have your back when it is needed. They said I made them look bad and slowly started distancing themselves. The following week, Jack heard a rumor that I was going to go to his house and shoot him. What? Where are these rumors coming from? I mean, seriously now. Uh, does Jack, kind of invent all of these things? Because it's, I mean, no, is no one questioning, his lies? I mean, this is a little bit too specific and too, out there in to just be, to just be believed without a second thought by anyone. This is getting weird. He messaged me on Instagram with a half-hearted apology, saying he thought he had seen a video and maybe it was someone who looked like me. When I asked to see the video, he said he had lost it. Come on, this is annoying at this point. I mean, clearly you could just out this conversation with him on whatever social media platform you could find, and get people's attention on his BS. More probably, you should also tell your parents and kind of discuss with them your a plan of action. But because I'm sure your parents want more than anything, any parent wants to know that their child is safe and he's having a good time in school, and he's focusing on studies, not on whether some bully is going to make his life a living hell from that point forward. um, I didn't want any more trouble or for the story to spread into my school, so I told him it was fine and it must have been a mistake. Well, see, I don't like that, but again, it's hard to handle this type of situations by yourself, especially when you are a teenager. And if you are a more introverted person by nature, it's even harder, to stand up for yourself and to just do what needed to be done, which would have been to go to the principal or to inform a psychologist, or the school, psychologist if there is one, the school counselor, for example, about what is happening, and reach a potential solution on how to get to the bottom of this, because it should be gotten to the bottom of this, because it's affected your life. I mean, it's affected your reputation, and God forbid if by by some luck after you graduate or whatever and you want to get a job, or go to some university, and people do a background check on you, and they find these lies, this slander, they might not even go beyond that, or know that it is slander, or it's something like this, and it could potentially affect your future for real. So you need to clear your reputation in front of the entire school, and the principal, the teachers, the people that matter. And I think that's important. When I asked him who sent the video, he said he wasn't going to rat his friend out. Well, aren't you just a loyal friend? It's hard to believe that he has any friends. Maybe this is even why he took things this far, because he's so isolated from everyone. He wants to kind of get people on his side, and just be the center of attention or whatever. I think this is it. I mean, otherwise, why would people go to this extent towards someone who hasn't done anything wrong to them, um looking back, that doesn't make sense. Well, of course it doesn't make sense, and if you opened up with your parents or with someone with an objective perspective, they could have told you that it doesn't really make sense, because if it were true, the person who sent it would have backed him up that night instead of him being on his own. I also messaged Sarah to clear things up and make sure she knew it wasn't true. She told me not to worry and said she knew Jack had made it up. Well, at least that's good. I mean, that's good that you cleared that with her. About a month later, I found out from someone who used to be friends with him that Jack had made the whole thing up on purpose for entertainment. But for entertainment? So he just bullies people for entertainment. It's not even, just a frustration or some form of animosity, secret animosity that he has towards you. It's just entertainment. These people should be in jail. It triggers me. It triggers me because how are you going on with your life knowing full well you're slandering people and just lying about them and making their lives a living hell, and that seems fun to you? That's almost psychopathic behavior. Jesus. um he knew it was false and just wanted to see me get jumped for coming into his town and trying to talk to girls. What the his town? It's not your town, babe. It's not your town. How are people this entitled? Jesus Christ. It's not your town, and they're not your girls, and they're not your possessions. What do you mean? I mean, I know there are people that are territorial like this, and they are entitled and territorial, but it's usually Karens. It's not like, I don't know, 16, 18-year-old boys that behave like this. Jesus Christ! Despite that, people forgave him almost immediately. What what type of town are you living in? No, because seriously, who is going to just let things? I mean, it shouldn't surprise me, because I did mention at some point that a colleague of mine from high school did of himself, and people were like sad for 1 or 2 days, but then they kind of let things go, and to me it felt wrong, because even if that was our classmate, and we did see them every day for like 1 or 2 years in high school until that happened. And at least for myself, I did try to talk to them a little bit, and I do feel somewhat remorseful and guilty because maybe there's always something in the back of my mind that maybe if I did something more to help, maybe things would have ended up being different. But I don't know. Um, but with that in mind, people just just forgot about it like 2 days later, and things went back to normal. And I don't get it. How? Because how would you forgive someone for slandering someone with a fake sexual assault accusation and just forget about it? What type of person do you have to be to just let things go like that? At the start of summer break, I went back to Town B one more time with what was left of my friend group. Well, okay, at least I mean, this is how you see, who your real friends are. Because when you hit a low point, those who stand by those are going to be your real friends. The ones that are going to stand by you no matter what, and they are going to be there for you and believe you. So there is that. At least that's a good thing. That's a silver lining. At the end of the night, we ended up outside the same bar. It was just me, him, and a group of girls, including Sarah and her friends. I confronted him about it, but he still insisted he had seen a video. Then he started laughing in my face and said I wouldn't do anything to him. God, this arrogant piece of shisa. He said that if I brought it up again, he would beat me up himself. The girls laughed at me too. After that, my friends completely ghosted. Oh my God! And here I thought you had selected your group of friends, but turns out those were snakes as well. Jesus, that I'm so sorry that you have to go through this. I know it doesn't. I know that you may not believe it right now, but not every person is like this, and I know how it feels, to come from a small rural area where um, people's thinking is pretty limited, and people's vision about life and about how they should behave even as teenagers is pretty limited, and they can get away with almost anything. I mean, beating people up or whatever, that's just normal. And I know that it's hard to believe it right now, because you have been through the ringer with this. I mean, literally you have been abandoned by your friends and threatened and slandered, and you will probably feel for a pretty long time that you cannot trust people around you. But what I'm telling you is, go see a professional first to talk about these things, and also do not let these experiences dim your light and your belief in people, and your belief that there are people out there who would care for you properly just because of this experience. Okay, that is my only one advice that I could give you. And the second one would be, get your story out there, no matter how, even if you have to go to on social media or whatever, because uh, all he's trying to do right now is to intimidate you and try to behave like he's the alpha male dog of this town or whatever. And the thing is, that's all he has, just bark. I don't think he really has any power over you. And if he does, maybe you need to also discuss it with the principal or people that could prevent you from getting beaten or assaulted when no one's looking. Okay, that is important as well. In January, after my school's musical, my dad was picking me up in a target parking lot at night in Town A. I saw Jack walking across the lot with his girlfriend, who is from my town. They walked right past me and didn't recognize me. By then, I had grown a few inches and put on about 20 pounds of muscle. I probably could have taken him if I wanted to, but I didn't do anything. It was freezing. I was only wearing a t shirt, and my dad was pulling in right behind me. If anything happened, he would have seen everything and found out the whole story. Wait, so you didn't tell your parents at all these things? I've never told my parents because of the nature of the rumor and because I didn't want to add more stress to their lives. Look, I know that as a child, especially when you see your parents' problems and you see how much effort they are making through to assure you have a good lifestyle or a good school life and a good education and stuff like that. I know how it feels to, feel this sense of responsibility towards your parents um, being, um, being able to just sit back and relax, for a while. But I think these things are important. It's about your safety, I mean, technically, he could try to get people to beat you up at any point of time of the day or night, just because he feels like it, you know and I think that's some type of behavior that has to be reported and has to be corrected, and you have to ensure your safety no matter what. All right. And a good one step you could take is talk to your parents about this, because as some people in the comments of this post also said, uh, your parents are going to be the ones that will want your safety, and they want to be able to be there for you and provide you with safety first. um, so I I don't know what to do about it. Well, let me tell you what to do about it. I know that it weighs on you every single day about this. I think you need firstly have a chat with either your principal um, or both your principal, a school counselor, and your parents, because it's important that you you get your story out in a manner that doesn't affect you direct, I'm sorry, directly, you know, and in a manner that ensures your safety. Because who knows when this person is going to just, say, "Oh my God, he raped someone else," or maybe at some point he might try to pull this type of BS later, maybe years later, maybe as you just seen 1 year later, and you came across them again, and I'm pretty sure they would have recognized you as well. I mean, how do you know that they haven't recognized you? They could have faked that they didn't recognize you. So I think that you need to get your story out one way or another. I don't hold any resentment towards the seniors who came after me that night or towards Sarah. They were told something serious and reacted to it. Uh, uh, you know, you might say that they are not at fault for, being informed about something, but I don't think that their behavior is justifiable. At least not, well, Sarah doesn't have anything to do with it, but I think those seniors' behavior is not entirely justifiable. You shouldn't be so quick to judge someone just because someone else told you something, I mean, you have to fact check the information that you receive, and this is highly important, especially in today's day. As I've said, people cyberbully, and they might even leak out fake information generated with AI or whatever, and it's much easier to leak fake information, and you as I mean, they as people should be able to practice their critical thinking and fact check the information that they're getting before reacting to it. So to some extent, I think they should be held accountable as well. But obviously the more important villain of the story is Jack. uh, but I do hate Jack. I don't know what to do with that, especially seeing him doing well and moving on like this. Nothing ever happened. He's studying for the SATs now, getting on with his life, and it feels like he won. Well, I think that this is the exact time, the best time that you could try to get your story out and um, gut punch him a little bit, get your revenge. I do hope, from what I saw, there isn't a part two to this story. This is a very recent story, like 15 hours ago. So I'm hoping that there might be an update in the future um, about how he reacted to all of this. The OP in the comments said that he didn't tell their parents because what if they disown you or disown them, But I think that you are. Uh, people are saying that he's well, not to call them ridiculous, but have they ever given you any notion that they wouldn't believe you? Look, maybe you're very anxious right now, and it's normal. Your safety has been taken from you. I mean, you don't feel safe at school, you don't feel safe within the environment that you have right now, and people didn't have your back, um but you have to at least try to trust your parents once with this information, because as someone in the comments said, I think they will want what's best for you. And this is going to be it for today's video, because it was a very long story. So I urge you to subscribe if you like this type of content. That will let me know to make more of this type of content, and see you in my next loving inspection. All right, for now, bye bye.